welcome today, Kristen, the intuitive queen.
Hello.
Which you are. I truly know that now. And I'm Annie of Thrive with Annie. And today we are both going to be sharing our experiences working with each other. Right?
We are.
So I am going to start by asking you where you were at when you reached out to me that day and was like, I want to book a session.
Yeah, that's a great question. So, it's very similar to what you shared. It was a tough experience for me to come here and be in Spain. And it was a huge transition for myself, for my family. Like there was just a lot of emotional intelligence that was required during that time. So I just felt like I was totally at my maximum. We were in a new culture. We're like trying to get our paperwork. It's hot as all get out in the middle of the summer. And it's just like all of it, that I run hot. So anyway, it's like all of these things coming together. And I knew in kind of those first few months that we were there, like once we sort of settled in a bit, I'm like, okay, there are things coming up energetically like that are just like I could just feel my blocks. And so another big piece looking back to that time is I had fallen out of the habit of doing my own energy work on myself. Wow. And so it's a little like I spoke about this recently where it's a little bit like when I was an athlete and when I was in my 20s and I'm working out all the time and I'm training, there was a time when I stopped, right? Like there was a period where I'm like, okay, I'm done with this. I'm moving on, whatever. That's all good. And for a while, I was still really fit. Like I felt fit, I felt active, but then I kind of didn't do anything. And like all of a sudden you kind of look around one day and you're like, oh, like there's no way that I would consider myself fit anymore. Mm-hmm. And so it was like the same thing with energy work where I felt like I had sort of built up this bank and I got a little cocky, to be honest, like looking back where I'm like, oh, it's fine. Like I can just do this anytime I want. And like, I'm so, like I'm so in tune with it and whatever. But it like looking back, it had been months since I had had a consistent practice where I like was in kind of like doing my energy work and like doing these types of spiritual practices. And part of it was I was a little bit scared to be consistent. Like I was scared to access that power and that level of me. But there were also just like things that I could feel because at that point I had done so much healing on my body where I could feel like my physical body was just like rejecting certain things. Like, okay, I want to go here, but it's almost like there's like a very physical, visceral, energetic block. And that I just like partly I wasn't accessing my own energy work. And then partly like I could just feel like the trauma, as it were, without knowing exactly what it was. And so just hearing from you and like hearing about the work you do, and I don't even know if you talk to me that much. I tend to like just sort of be able to read energy or like feel into how you were experiencing like the transformation. I don't even know if you told me like what a session entailed or anything. I just remember getting an intuitive hit. Like it's like, I can't remember exactly what happened, but there was just something that happened where like, this is it. Like I can't just push through this. I like something needs to shift. And I think it was like literally, so then I just whipped out my phone and I'm like, I need a session. Like, I don't know why, but like, I need a session. Like, let's do it.
It was like a bolt out of the blue. It really was. And I actually remember like casting my mind back to like when I first met you that we had mentioned about doing some kind of exchange, like initially. And then I do remember sitting in a cafe with you, like having a catch up and you saying like, I don't think now is the right time, but as you grow, then I will definitely reach out to you. Almost like you could feel that. And at that time I was like, oh, like I really wanted to do this, but I really respected that you didn't feel like it was the right time. So then getting this message of like, I want a session, like I think it literally said just that. I want to book in for a session.
I want a session. What does it cost? I don't even care. Just tell me, like, get me on your calendar.
Like now.
I have no context for like where you were in your business or where, probably energy, like, cause we were already connected. I energetically felt like you had made that shift. So I'm like, okay, I'm ready. Like, I'm gonna, whatever, raise my standards and raise my, so yeah, that was where I remember being when And I remember just saying, I need a session. I literally, looking back, had no idea what the session would be, what it would like, what you would do. And I was just like, I don't, let's do it. I'm ready.
I wasn't very good at talking about it back then.
Yeah.
So yeah, but you obviously knew, and I know you felt it. So yeah. Okay. So then like, I can't remember exactly which session was like quite pivotal for you, but like, can you remember whether your first session was like a big shift, or did you wait till second or third? I can't actually remember now.
Well, I do remember our first session. I don't remember exactly what came up or what was cleared, but I remember how I felt, because I came out of the session and I was just like, it was just such a place of alignment and a place of peace. And I think I recorded a video after that first session. So on the recording page, I'll pop it down below. But I remember, I can see myself sitting on my terrace outside of my bedroom and just like feeling the sun on my skin in a different way. Oh, and I remember this. I remember saying, like, messaging you because I had this red top that I never wore. And for whatever reason, it popped in my head and I went to put it on, and then I went back out to sit on the terrace, and there was something about the frequency of the color red and like the frequency of being in the sun. And I just remember the intense peace in my body and like my mind from whatever we had cleared, because, I don't know exactly how many sessions we would have. We ended up having maybe 8 to 10, but I remember there being so many limiting beliefs that I was just storing in my tissues and in my, in my energy field and in my brain. And like, just the start of like pulling at that thread, I felt so much relief and so much, just like gratitude and relief. And, I think I came into the session and having some really, let's just call it like a vain intention. Like, hey, I want my business to be here and I want to look like this. And I like all these things that like on the outside, I did want, right? And what I ended up getting in the session was like exactly what I needed to then put me on the path to getting all those things I wanted.
Yeah. I do really remember you saying, like, I've just gone to my wardrobe. I've never worn this. I've never given myself permission to wear this. And now suddenly I have to wear it. This is a complete shift, like almost black and white, but like black and red. Yeah, it was. I could feel your excitement and energy that day, that like so much had shifted in such a short space of time.
Yeah, I mean, in a 90-minute session,
Yeah.
And I think I jumped from something really low, like I was resonating at 300 or something really low, to 700 out of 1,000 in like that first session, because so much was cleared and so much was released. Yeah. And I really remember feeling like it's gone. Like I remember in the first few days afterwards, like trying to access some of those, like just testing. Like I know you say don't read. I don't think I went back and read it, but just I could feel certain activities or patterns in my life. And I remember like it's almost a feeling of like reaching out energetically. Like I remember reaching out for that like safety net that had been my programming and being like, oh, it's not there. Like it's just gone, like that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah, just like really relaxed about that thing that was so important and now it's just gone. Yeah, it's amazing. Okay, let's think about my next question. I got really into that. I loved how you described it. Would you say it's helped your business as well as your personal side? Like, I think you came to me more personally, and then over time we spread into business as well.
Absolutely. You shared the story about your client doubling her income. And while that has not yet been my story, but it will be soon, for me, there were so many things to clear, that there were like so many things that I was standing in my own way with and about, and like that had to be cleared. And the more we started doing the work around the business, like the same way you said, like everything's connected, right? Like, so we're uncovering all the personal things, and we're uncovering some of the health issues and some of these other things. And in our container together, there just, I feel like looking back, there just wasn't almost like the time and space to fully get into the business the way my like logical brain might have wanted, because I am so driven and I do have big goals and I do want these things, but uncovering all of those other things were so important and so instrumental to actually put me on the path to like build the business that I want to build, to actually get me to the goals that like I had written in some of our intentions. And it's just, I think it's again, this concept of like recalibrating that we've been talking about. It's like the energy, just like I just had so much baggage, if you will, or whatever, that I needed, like generational lived experience, like beliefs I've taken on, and all of it, interestingly enough, were all stored in my fat cells. And
Yes,
like, so
yeah.
my health journey has been like a very, very tied in and very physical and like visceral part of that. And I truly believe like I don't think I could fully get to where I want to go without addressing this, because it's like the foundation of every, like, right, if I don't have my health and I don't have like strength in my body, I cannot be a clear channel for what I'm here to do, and I cannot move energy in the way that I want to, and I cannot show up for my family the way I want to, or myself or my clients. And like,
Yeah,
really having that type of thing, those types of belief, like, or like those come up, and me to experience them in a different way, I think has, so like, short answer, yes. Long answer, what I just said, like it certainly has, even if it's not on paper, like, hey, I went from this to this, like it's just, it, for me and my journey, clearing out, it's about longevity, it's about building something, it's about creating a legacy, it's about where will I be 20 years from now, where will my kids be, where will, like, and it's nothing, like I won't be able to bring my vision into the world without this foundation, without this clear foundation.
Yeah, that's amazing. And speaking of like the health piece and looking after yourself, obviously you were also one of my pilots for my transformation package, where we did a lot of the energy work, the MBSR, and also the supplement plans. So would you say that the supplement plans were a big part of your journey as well as like a big part of your transformation?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the supplement plans were absolutely a big part. I'll apologize that this keeps being part of my story, but again, I had no idea what it was when we first started into like doing the supplement plan. But when you brought it up, it was just because I'm a sacral responder, so a manifesting generator, sacral responder. And you're like, hey, I'm doing this. Like, do you, I think it would be great to add into what we're doing. And I just was like, yes. Great. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I remember at first just being like, oh, okay. Like, cause I've always been into supplements. I think probably your ideal client, as it were, for this type of package is like, I've always been health minded. I've always considered my supplements. For years, I worked with a functional medicine practitioner where like supplements were just part of the regimen, especially as I like went through deep healing. And I think when you brought it up to me, I really was in a space where it's like I wasn't in that deep physical healing space anymore, but I was still kind of taking some of the stuff like that it had just sort of carried over, or like, and also being in a new country, I'm like, oh, well, like the same kind of supplements and things aren't available here that I'm used to. And so I was certainly in a transition phase. And when you were like, hey, I think I could tell you like exactly what to take to like optimize your health, I was like, yeah, great. Sign me up for that.
In that direction when you're like, yeah. Saves a lot of like research as well as to like what you think your body might want. So then the supplement plans have been a big piece for you, and your last one especially was like incredible, like the layers that you've continued to peel off to become like your healthiest, most vibrant self, physically as well as energetically.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was around, I guess it was September of last year, so maybe 8-ish months ago. maybe not even that long. I can't do the math. 6 months ago,
Okay.
we moved to a new house, and the something's in the water system that like it just wasn't filtering properly or something. And there's no way we would have known. I mean, we filter our drinking water, but it's just all of a sudden I was being hit with like all these toxins that we didn't even know about. And I remember you did a test on me, and it was like, oh wow, like it was just like off the charts terrible. And you're like, this is why, like this is the reason. So we shifted the reason, and we started some of the protocols. And I remember being really frustrated just because like looking back, it was almost like when a child throws a tantrum, like, I've already done this. Like I've already, like I was like, my inner child was throwing a tantrum.
But that could also have been influenced by just the sheer volume of toxins that were affecting you at that time, because looking at all of the stress in your body that had suddenly kind of come out of nowhere, that can really affect you mentally, like that level of stress, like into the body.
Yeah. And you told me that, and I was like, oh, this makes so much sense. Because like 2 days ago, I was like, I think I'm just depressed. I guess I'm just like a depressed person right now. And I've never, I not to make light of it because I know it's a serious issue. But like I had never experienced depression. Like I don't identify with that. And so I'm just like, okay, and you were like, hey, you have all of these things going on. It's creating like massive stress on your brain and this and this and this. And I was like, oh, okay, this makes so much sense.
Because I was almost a bit scared to reveal it all to you. Like, this is so out of the norm for you. Like I was shocked, and I tested things like several times. Like, are we sure, absolutely sure, before I like take this to you? And I couldn't change any of the answers. They were very much like from your body, even though I like insisted on like checking.
Yeah.
And then it was a lot, and it took a lot to undo. But this is what I really love about the supplement plans, is they're not just supplements, they're also lifestyle. And one of the most important lifestyle was to cut these toxins out from coming in, which was like all on your hot water. And so like we worked out like the best shower filter to install for this situation, whether your drinking water needed to be changed more or less, or when it needed to be changed. It just gave you so many answers in an otherwise really awful, like stressful situation. Like having that information with no answers would have been horrible, and could have played even more on your mind. Whereas knowing that like the water was now okay and we can get all of the toxins out, it must have been quite empowering at that point.
Yeah, well, it certainly is now.
However,
looking back, I remember, I don't know, did we do 2 supplement plans that were really quite intense? Maybe 3?
Yeah.
Because like there was just so much to clear. But like, here's the thing I realized, because this last one where there's been this huge shift, is for the first 2, I was really resistant. I was like, oh, I don't want to do this again. I can't, like, I'm spending all this money on supplements, and like, not like it was nothing you were doing. It was like, I'm like, she's being so great, but like, I'm just, every time you'd say something, I'd be like, no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't. You're like, I'm going to eventually do it. But like, that was also slowing down the results. Yeah. And so the one we ended up doing, was it in January? I was just like, I had a talk with myself. I'm like, Kristen, you need to stop resisting this. You are hiring her to help you. Like, you are paying money for these supplements. You are like, this is right. Like, I literally had to sit down my inner child and have this conversation.
Yeah. I'll be like,
and like, stop resisting. And I just like, in that, I did my own energy work. I cleared it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to stop resisting. I'm just going to surrender. I'm just like, I'm going to stop trying to control it. I'm going to stop trying to control like where I'll be in like because I also really just wanted to be done with like ordering 10 supplements at a time. And like, and I know you weren't like purposely telling me to do it, but then I'm like creating resentment for myself, like around it. And so it's like this cycle of I'm trying to heal, and like my body and my energy are trying to do it. And then I'm just like in resistance. And so I'm like, okay, I just need to stop. I need to stop resisting. And I realized that in the, like, as I'm sending you back, like, no, I don't think I'm going to do that. And I don't know about this. And but I already do this. And I'm like, I need to stop thinking that I know better, because I'm literally hiring someone to support me. Yeah. Who like knows what she's talking about, because she's connected to my body and my energy field. And like, I just need to stop. Like, Kristen, you just need to stop. Like, and in that moment I shifted. And I think that's also a huge reason why, like, not only were the supplements like perfect and it was exactly what I needed, and like, I was like, okay, I just need to surrender to this.
And I think don't underestimate that piece, that mental piece, that resistance piece of like allowing and surrendering and preventing the mental stress of all of this, like body stress, because that's just, the brain is so powerful in that respect, you know, like you can eat the most perfect diet, but if you are like obsessed with the fact it's not okay, then the brain will play games with it. So I think that
you're like stressed out about like, oh, well, I didn't eat like 1 gram of protein in that or whatever.
Yeah. And the brain will mess with that. So I really think that's a massive part of this puzzle that you've undone or finished, we say, like, you know, and then seeing your supplement plan on Monday where like, you know, the maximum stress in the plans is like 10, and in the last plan in January there were like 5 different 10s, there were 8s, there were 6s, like all over your body in different places. And it was a complicated plan in January. I knew it wasn't going to be your favorite thing to do, and I preempted that and even asked you like, should we take some bits out so that it's manageable, because it needs to be manageable for you. But you went steamrolling in and was like, I'm doing it. And then pretty much all the stress, all of the old stress is now gone, and it's literally the only thing that's left is like a very small amount of environmental stuff, which is just problematic in rentals, isn't it? And it's just
sort of like the residual stuff that wants to continue to be cleared out.
Yeah,
and you were so patient with me too, because I remember being times where I'd be like, I would end my message in the container and be like, God, I'm such a brat. Like, why? And you were just like, you would just so patiently respond and like hold the space. And it, I mean, it was really what I needed, you know. And
then you wasn't as such, but like, you know, like I was saying, that when there is this much stress on the body from toxins, it does turn you into a different person. Like, you were a different person from the person I knew once those toxins had taken hold. Like literally it was seeing a different version of yourself, which I'm so glad that we have managed to unpick so that you come back to you.
Yeah, me too. Thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome. And yeah, well done you for actually making that commitment. Like, I know you made it when you like hired me, and then you had to like make it again, like reassuring yourself, and that was so important. So I'm so proud of you for this like roller coaster of a journey that I've supported you with, and the same for me too. But yeah, you've moved mountains in the last like 9 months.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to go off the cuff here because we've decided to partner and do an event where we're going to bring both of our skills and magic to a room full of people here in Estepona.
Yes,
people who own businesses, who like energy work, who want to make huge shifts, who know that they're upgrading and they're ready for that upgrade. We're going to create an event to energetically hold you and to help you transition into that upgrade.
Yes, we are. And when you were just saying that, I thought the word magic too, and it is going to feel like that in the best way. I'm so excited for it. Like, it just feels so aligned. It feels like the perfect time. And yeah, I can't wait to meet everyone that's going to come and grow through our magic.
Me too. It'll be fun. It'll be here in Estepona in southern Spain. So if you're local, we'll put all the links when I post this live. We'll put all the links, but you can register, you can join us. It'll be a half a day. It's going to be amazing.
It is. Yeah. People might even fly in for it, you know, like I would if I knew me. So
I mean, I feel like based on what we just shared and like the impact of it, when we're going to get together and like condense it into this really amazing experience, like I would fly in.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Estepona is the most beautiful place as well. I literally cannot wait to be back there. So yeah, we've completely changed our mind on our homesteading life and have absolutely loved the adventure, but are moving back to Estepona because that is where my heart is. I can't wait to be back.
I heard it here first. It's breaking news.
It is. Yeah, it is. I'm putting it out to the universe. It's happening. I know I feel it. I can feel the energy of it coming. I'm so excited to be back there.
Okay. Amazing. Yeah. Well, thank you for taking this time with me.
And you. I've loved it. It's been so good.